Yo, what is up guys, Dimeo's back with a brand new video and we're back on some more Call of Duty World War II. As you guys can see in the title of this video, it is called The Real Reason Why the Sniping and Trickshotting Community is not enjoying the new Call of Duties, or something along that line. In a previous video of mine, I actually ended up kind of going on a rant of why I don't think people enjoy the new games and what's going on behind the scenes with a lot of people. It's something that I've noticed over the past few years on the Call of Duty community, but I never actually voiced my concerns. I never actually made it public what I think of the Call of Duty community, sniping and trickshotting, and why people aren't enjoying the new games. So this video is going to be a little bit more of a serious video. It's not going to be funny or anything. I just actually really want to get my opinion out there and just try and get to the bottom of this. The reason the sniping and trickshotting community isn't doing well on the new Call of Duties, I feel like it's more to do with the players themselves, and not the game as a whole. You guys are probably expecting me to bash Call of Duty World War II and say why it's a bad Call of Duty, and that's why people aren't playing this game, and why the sniping and trickshotting community aren't thriving on it. But no, I'm actually gonna go against the community itself. I'm gonna go against the players, the people with the bad attitude that actually don't want to play this game. And I'll explain to you guys why a lot of people just play this game for 1 or 2 months, sniping, trickshotting, grinding it as much as they can, and they just come to the conclusion that this game is bad, and they just end up quitting. First and foremost, what I want to get out of the way is this game is not a bad game. Call of Duty World War II is not a bad game. I know that there's so many people out there with different tastes and stuff like that, but at the same time, you have to take into consideration that I have been playing Call of Duty for a long time. I've been playing Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2. My favorite Call of Duties are Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3. So I do have good taste in Call of Duties. I know what makes a good Call of Duty. But even the other games that aren't considered the greatest Call of Duties of all time, Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Ghosts, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, those games are still extremely fucking good, but a lot of the time, people chose not to stick to those games. Some people did stick to Modern Warfare 3, but when it came to Call of Duty Ghosts, a lot of people quit. A lot of people went back to Black Ops 2, me included. I had this kind of bad attitude, bad mindset back then. Only a few years ago, I was the exact person I am talking about in this video. Now, before I go any further, I want to make it very clear. Not every single Call of Duty is an amazing Call of Duty. I'm not saying that every single Call of Duty that has ever come out has been good and that the community just simply don't like it because they're lazy to play it. I'm not saying that by any means. Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare were definitely huge failures. They were not Call of Duty games. But let's take a look at games that were actually good that people didn't want to play. Let's take a look at Call of Duty Ghosts. As much as people want to give Call of Duty Ghosts crap, that was a pretty well put together game. Yes, the maps fucking sucked on that game and it had absolutely no flow, but when Drop Zone was added into that game and it became a better game, and once people actually stayed dedicated to it and gave it a shot, people actually realized how good that game was. A lot of people went back to Call of Duty Ghosts of all games and actually enjoy the game a lot, me included. I remember a few years ago, I actually went back and played Call of Duty Ghosts and I really enjoyed it. It was really fucking fun. A lot of people from Modern Warfare 3 went back to Modern Warfare 2, and back then the community was thriving. Nobody really gave a shit that people were going back to old Call of Duties because the old Call of Duties were still entertaining to watch. But today, these days, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 and all these older Call of Duties, just multi-COD in general, they're not fun to watch anymore. I would even go out on a limb and say that Black Ops 3 isn't fun to watch anymore. A lot of the stuff that's hit recently on Black Ops 3 isn't new anymore. A lot of the clips that can be hit on that game have been hit. The game has been overplayed slightly already. And there's people who take it to a whole nother level. There are people who go back and play Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 is almost a decade old. You honestly think that that game is still entertaining to watch? Of course it's not entertaining to watch. Everything that can be hit on Modern Warfare 2 or anything that's practical has been hit. It's almost impossible to be creative on that game, and the same goes for Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is the most successful Call of Duty of all time. It's widely accepted as the best Call of Duty of all time, statistically anyway. I beg to differ. I personally think Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty of all time, but I digress. Now let's talk about a more recent game, a game that came out last year, and I'm not talking about Infinite Warfare. Infinite Infinite Warfare was a bad Call of Duty. I understand why people went back. Hell, if Infinite Warfare was released as a standalone game, I probably would have went back to Black Ops 3 as well. I'm not going to bullshit. But let's look at a game that was actually bundled with Infinite Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. That is a game that people have been asking to be remastered for a very, very long time. And then when it finally was remastered, people didn't want to play it. A lot of people played it for 1 or 2 months during the hype season, and they completely gave up on the game. Even though it was pretty much the exact same game as Call of Duty 4. The only difference was that supply drops were added. Call of Duty 4 is one of the greatest Call of Duties of all time. How come a lot of people didn't stick to that game though? I'm going to explain why a lot of people didn't stick to that game. A lot of people who came into the sniping and trickshotting community came during Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2. Those were the prime days of sniping and trickshotting. That's when it completely fucking blew up because those games were so amazing for both sniping and trickshotting. The sniping and trickshotting community was pretty much non-existent during the Call of Duty 4 days. I mean, yeah, there were some people who were doing it and stuff like that, but the first ever Call of Duty trickshot was hit on World at War. The first ever recorded one anyway. So Call of Duty 4 was amazing for sniping. Not as much for trickshotting because there were no kill cams in the original game. But when people did go back and play Call of Duty 4, it was insane. A lot of people fucking hit bangers on that game. Quad collats for days, 5-on-1s, quad headshot feeds. Like, the game was absolutely riddled with snipers. You could get into sniper lobbies pretty much every fucking game because sniping on that game was so fucking good. So let's get back on topic. Why is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered not as successful as the original Call of Duty when it comes to sniping and trickshotting? Arguably, it should have been more successful when it comes to sniping and trickshotting because the sniping was left untouched. It was exactly the same, but kill cams were implemented as well. Now Trickshoters actually had a place on that game. Trickshoters could go into free-for-all, TDM, search and destroy, and hit trick shots. And I'm not going to say that nobody stuck to that game and nobody trickshotted on that game. There were people who did stay dedicated to that game when it came to the sniping and trickshotting community. One person that I can name specifically was Sprat. He did go a little bit multi-COD back to Black Ops 3, but mainly he stuck to Modern Warfare Remastered and he played that game all year round. Another person that really stands out to me is Jev. Jev, of all people, actually stuck to that game. And I'm not saying that Jev is a bad player, but just if you compare him to the other people like Pamaj and Sprat and Testy and all these people, he's not as good at sniping as they are. But by no means am I saying that Jev is a bad player. Jev is an amazing player, and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered wasn't as popular with the sniping and trickshotting community because they simply just gave up on the game too early. For some reason, even though the game was practically untouched from the original Call of Duty 4, people didn't like it. They didn't stick to it. And I'm going to give you guys the real reason why people don't stick to the new Call of Duty games and why they end up actually playing those quote-unquote new Call of Duty games a few years after they're out. It's because Call of Duty games, when they first come out, they are harder. A lot more people take the game seriously when it's first out. For the first few months, these games are the most sweaty fucking games you will ever find. And a lot of people are turned off by this, but there's a very easy way to overcome the people who are very good at this game. The reason people still stay on Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 for sniping and trickshotting is because those games are shit fucking easy. You mean to tell me that Modern Warfare 2 when it first came out, those games weren't sweaty? You mean to tell me when Black Ops 2 came out, people absolutely loved the game and it was the game that we see today? No, from what I remember, when Black Ops 2 came out, a lot of people actually went back to Modern Warfare 2 because they didn't like that the game was so difficult. And here's another thing I want to bring up. A lot of people don't stick to the new Call of Duties because they're too fucking lazy to learn them. People anticipate the next Call of Duty's launch and they are so fucking hyped for it and they think, oh, this is gonna be the Call of Duty that's gonna bring us back, and they get absorbed into the hype, and then when the game comes out they have these huge expectations for what they're supposed to be, and then they get very much disappointed because they're not playing the game enough to actually sit down and get good at them. Which is a huge reason why a lot of people don't stick to the new Call of Duty game. Because they're too fucking lazy to actually get good at them. They play the game for a month or two, they see that they're not hitting any clips, they honestly expect that they're going to be like Sprat and Pamaj and Jev and all these people who are going to hit like insane fucking clips the first month or two that the game is out. For the majority of players, for 99% of the players, you're not going to hit clips like that until a few months into the game. The reason why a lot of these people hit insane clips, the reason why Pamaj and Sprat hit quad headshot feeds and 5 on screens the first few weeks that the games are out, is because this is their fucking job. They literally do this every single waking hour. They play these games 15, 16, sometimes 18 hours a fucking day to hit these clips. A lot of us, the majority of people, don't have time to grind that much. We actually have things to do, whether it be school or work or something else. But I'm telling you right now, if you actually sat down and played these games and tried your absolute hardest to hit clips as much as these other guys do, if you grinded these new Call of Duties when they came out as much as these guys did, you would be doing the exact same thing as them. You would be hitting the bangers that they're hitting as well. And you would be saying that these new Call of Duties that came out are actually really fucking good and that you're gonna stick to them the entire year. Why don't you stick to them the entire year? Because you don't put in enough practice to actually get good at these games. I'm telling you, once you actually sit down and really put your head in these games and actually focus, actually take the time to learn these games, then you will start hitting insane clips. I personally didn't hit a single really good clip on this game until I really started grinding. I don't know what happened, but one day I told myself that I was just going to grind this game and really put my effort into playing well. A lot of other games, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 specifically, you could play those games fucking mindlessly. If you were brain dead, you could hit good clips on those games because they're shit fucking easy. But that's not what Call of Duty is anymore. Call of Duties aren't as easy as they were back then. Back then you had aim assist. A lot of Call of Duties these days, they don't have aim assist on snipers. So it's a little bit more difficult. The map layouts are different. You actually need to adjust to the new map layouts that the Call of Duty developers have picked. The lobbies are more sweaty, and that's just something you have to fucking deal with. A huge portion of my success on this game is through lobby surfing. If you're in a lobby and you don't fucking like it because someone on the other team is being a scumbag and he's using the most overpowered shit, or he's calling score streaks on you every single 5 seconds, all you gotta do is leave the game and find a new lobby. Because I'm fucking telling you, 1 in 3 lobbies, 1 in 4 lobbies, you will find a lobby with people that have absolutely no fucking thumbs. And if you are somewhat decent at this game, you'll hit a clip on them. And if you're lucky, you'll hit an insane clip on them. Whether it be a triple collat, a 5 on screen, a quad headshot feed, all it takes is practice and you to actually put the time and effort to actually developing your skills into this game and getting better at it. The reason why people don't stick to the new Call of Duties is because they jump to conclusions too quickly. They play this game for a month or two, fucking brain dead, not actually putting their head into the game and not actually focusing, and in those 1 or 2 months that they actually played the game, they notice that their fucking drop box is empty. They haven't hit any clips because they're lazy with the fucking game, and then they just give up on it because they have absolutely no dedication. If you truly cared about the sniping and trickshotting community, if you truly cared about actually getting better at the game, if you were actually dedicated to getting better and actually putting in your time and effort to prove to people and to prove to other teams why you are a good player and why you should be picked up to these teams because you know what you're doing at this game, then fuck me. I am telling you right now, you would actually be able to do what all these other people are doing. Pamaj, Sprat, all these other people who are playing these new games dedicatedly. Look at Testy. He's been sticking to the new games every single fucking year, and look where he is now. He's in fucking FaZe because he proved to FaZe that he deserved to be on the team and that he's dedicated. He didn't go back to multi-COD from what I know. He actually stuck to the new games and he's still fucking playing them. The reason you don't enjoy the new Call of Duty game, I'm sorry to say this and I'm sorry if I offend anyone, it's because you're not fucking good at it. Because you're not actually willing to take the time to sit down and play this game for whatever amount it takes, 10 hours. Even if you can't play 18 hours a fucking day, I can tell you, majority of you guys do have a lot of time to kill on this game. And you definitely do have a lot of time to actually dedicate into it. But a lot of you guys would rather take the easy route. You'd rather go back to multi-COD. You'd rather go back to Black Ops 3, to Black Ops 2, to Modern Warfare 2, because you know those games. Will I tell you the reason why you're actually good at those games? Will I tell you the reason why you're so fucking good at Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3? It's because you've played those games for fucking years. You know those games inside out. You know those games like the back of your fucking hand. You've been playing them for what, 5 fucking years? Some of you guys have been playing Modern Warfare 2 for a fucking decade. That's why you love those games so much, because you're good at them. But I'm telling you right now, if you took the time to actually get better at World War II and you actually were hitting the clips that a lot of these big people are, if you were hitting quad headshot feeds, if you were hitting quad collats like FaZe Kitty, if you were hitting 5 on screens like FaZe Sprat, if you were hitting triple collats like Pamaj, you cannot fucking tell me that you would hate this game. You would absolutely love if you could kill every single fucking game. And I'm telling you, you could if you actually took the time to get better. But you know what? You're fucking lazy. You choose not to actually stay on this game. You choose to give up on it after a month or two. And you choose to pinpoint each and every little problem. And I'm not saying that this game is perfect. I'm not saying that any Call of Duty game game is perfect. Look at Modern Warfare 2, noob tubes all fucking day. Last Stand, look at Black Ops 2, overpowered shotguns, annoying fucking snipers. As much as snipers was really strong on that game and a lot of people loved it, you gotta admit, snipers on that game are fucking obnoxious as shit. Don't tell me you don't remember getting C4'd on Black Ops 2. You know how fucking annoying it is to get C4'd in Black Ops 2? C4 scavenger fast times where people fucking throwing them all over the corners and shit and blowing you up all day. The reason you actually look past that shit is because a lot of the good moments you have on those games overrule all the bad moments. The reason you don't care as much about C4 in that game and about fucking shotguns and annoying snipers on that game is because you have so many good moments. You hit a trick shot every 1 in 5 fucking games because the game is shit fucking easy to hit a trick shot on. Hell, even I hit trick shots on that fucking game. And I'm not even a trick shotter, I'm a sniper. So I'm sorry, but I don't mean to offend you, but a lot of the people who have stuck to this game and a lot of the people who are really fucking enjoying it and who I predict are going to stick to this game for the entire year and absolutely kill it and grow off of YouTube, off of something new, off of a new Call of Duty, the people who are going to be the most successful in the Call of Duty community because they stick to the new games. You know why they're sticking to the new games? Because they're putting the effort into actually getting better. If you were hitting those clips, you would love this game as well. But you know why you're not hitting those clips? Because you're not good enough at the game. And the reason you're not good enough at the game is because you are not motivated to actually put the effort into actually staying on it. All you care about is hitting clips every few games and hitting fucking bangers on easy fucking Call of Duties. Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 are arguably the easiest Call of Duties to snipe on. And Call of Duty World War 2, it's not a difficult game. The snipers are still pretty good on this game. But they only become good when you actually put the effort into improving with them. If you actually sat down and learned how to play this game. I didn't start hitting clips on this game until one day I just told myself, I'm gonna start grinding this game. You know what happened? I told myself one day, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna grind this game, I'm gonna put my head in the game, I'm gonna focus on all the little aspects that I am not good at. What am I getting wrong? Oh, okay, I'm looking at the spawn system. Let's actually try and predict the spawns. Let's focus on where my teammates are. Let's look at the other side of the map. Most likely they're gonna be spawning there. I started getting more success when I started doing that. I should probably start using cover to my advantage more often. I started using cover, started actually head glitching more, started paying attention to my surroundings and where the enemy could possibly be, started actually quick scoping instead of drag scoping because there's no aim assist in this game. You need to learn how to actually line up your shot before you scope in so that you could get a nice clean quick scope and save time and be faster than your opponent. These are the things that you can only learn by playing the game a lot and by actually paying attention to what the fuck you're doing on screen. Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2, as I said, you could be fucking brain dead and do good on those games because the games are shit fucking easy. But what happened with me is I started focusing on all the parts of this game that I'm not good at and I started improving, and I told myself, look, I haven't been spending enough time on this game. I haven't been dedicating myself. I was playing this game pretty casually. I was playing it on and off, maybe not every single day and stuff like that, until one day I told myself, okay, I am going to grind this. I am going to put the effort into becoming fucking amazing at this game. Second day from when I dedicated myself to actually grinding on this game, I hit my best clip on this game, which was a single triple collat for a 5 on screen. Well, I tell you why everybody hits quad collats on Raid Black Ops 2. It's because everybody snipes on that game. Everybody runs to the spawn snipe. If you are playing against normal players who are just trying to do well, I'm telling you, majority of them don't run to the spawn snipe. But because literally every single fucking sniper are playing those old games, they all run to the exact same spots, the exact same clip spots, and no shit you're gonna hit a clip. If everybody's running to the same spot over and over again, and you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're gonna get better at it, and you're going to hit insane fucking clips. And the same aspect goes for every single other Call of Duty. If you went on this game and you did the same thing over and over and over again, if you went into these games doing the same thing over and over again, practicing your sniping, using the same sniper over and over and over again, going to the same spots, killing the same people over and over and over again, sniping, quick scoping the same way over and over and over again, you would get better, and eventually you would hit insane clips. I didn't start hitting insane clips on this game until I started playing it a lot. I'm telling you, the best moments I have on this game are when I fucking grind it, and when I grind this game, I hit insane clips. The reason the people in the FaZe Gaming House are so successful with this game is because they spend literally every single second that they can spare on this game, and they're fucking blowing up off of it. They're making a killing off of it. Stop going multi-COD, for fuck's sake. I am so sick of people going multi-COD. I understand if you're going multi-COD just to play the game for fun, but when it comes to clips and montages, for fuck's sake, can you stop playing multi-COD for clips? You need to stick to the new game. If you want the community to thrive, if you want the community to do well and do as well as it did back in the day, you need to stay dedicated and you need to play these fucking games all year round, and you need to stop going back to the old Call of Duties. I don't go back to the old Call of Duties anymore. I refuse to do so. The recent Call of Duty games are not hard for sniping. A lot of people say that they can't hit clips on this game. No shit, you can't hit clips on this game because you haven't actually taken the time to get fucking better at it. A lot of people quit Modern Warfare Remastered even though it was practically the exact same game as Call of Duty 4. Do you want to know why they didn't do well in those games and why they ended up quitting? Because they complained that it was too hard, that they wanted to go back to Black Ops 3 because it's easy to snipe on that game, and because the community's all going back to that game. Stop hopping on fucking bandwagons. You see some of the community go back to the old Call of Duties and you just think that it's your cue to go back and follow like a fucking sheep. You are not going to get anywhere if you are imitating everybody fucking else. And if you think that it's really difficult to hit clips on Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, or if you thought that that was the case when the game came out, look at someone who actually did stick to the game the entire year. Look at Jev, dude. Jev put out for Jever 3 on that game, and it was absolutely insane, dude. It had some crazy fucking clips. You know why he hit those clips? Because he grinded, and because he stayed dedicated to it. He didn't go back to old Call of Duties, or even if he did, they were probably just once in a while for a video or something like that. But majority of the time, 99% of his time on Call of Duty that entire year was spent on Modern Warfare Remastered, and at the end of the year, he put out a banger montage that got over 1 million views. That could be you, but it's not going to be you if you're playing a game that's a decade old like Modern Warfare 2, where every single fucking clip has been hit on it. A lot of people have went back already and quit this game. Why? I ask you, why? You want to know why FaZe Kitty is standing out so much on this game and why he's making a killing off of it? Because it's only been a few months and the guy's already hit like, what, 3-4 quads on this game? Nobody else in the community has done that. And the reason he did it is because he spends like 18 hours a fucking day on the game. To summarize, the real reason why people don't enjoy the new Call of Duties is because they're too lazy to actually get good at them, because they give up too quickly. I am saying this again, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone, but you need to be realistic with yourself. The reason why you don't play the new Call of Duties is because you're not good at them. If you're actually good at these games, you cannot tell me that if you hit 4 quad collats a few months into this game's life cycle that you wouldn't enjoy this game. Of course you'd fucking enjoy this game because you're good at it. But by quitting this game and going back to the old Call of Duties, you are taking the decision to stop actually getting better at it. How the fuck do you expect to get better on this game by going back to old Call of Duties? Fucking explain that to me. Because this game isn't the same as other ones. You're not going to play this game the same way you play Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3. This game is different. You need to readjust and you need to actually play this game the way it's supposed to be played, not the way you play other games. That's pretty much all I have to say, and this pretty much sums up why a lot of people don't play the new Call of Duties. They're just too fucking lazy to actually get good at them, and they're not dedicated enough. I don't want to brag or anything, but I am dedicated to this game. I have stuck to this game, and I've hit a good amount of clips ever since this game has come out. And if you don't believe me that staying to one game and playing it non-stop improves you as a player, take it from my experience. Black Ops 3, when it came out, was the first Call of Duty in years that I decided to play the full year through without going back to multi-COD. Black Ops 3 was the game where I hit some of my most insane clips and the period of time where I improved the most as a sniper. That's not a coincidence. That's fucking results. If you want results, actually put the effort into getting them. But anyway, I've pretty much expressed my entire opinion, and that's what I wanted to get across. This game isn't a bad game. It's just your attitude is bad. You don't want to actually sit down and get better at this game. But that's pretty much all I had to say. I'm going to end this video off right now. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. I'll have my last one run up across the screen. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.